All right, we'll give it a few minutes. We got people coming in, but I'm excited for this. I've done this a couple times before, and it seems to be a good way to get together as a group and share our kind of common direction and set our goals. And so I think we're going to have a lot of fun tonight. And this is really centered around what you want. So I'm going to elicit from you in just a minute what exactly you want to have happen tonight. And remember, those who share, Freddie and I always incorporate our suggestions, what you want into our suggestions. So if you stay quiet, you're going to miss out. If you want confidence and you tell us that, we're going to put suggestions for confidence in our processes tonight. So participation benefits you. All right. Welcome, everybody. Hi, Diana. Stefan's here. Graham, nice to see you, buddy. Graham, I'm going to make you share something later tonight if you're still on. It was a story you told a couple of years ago that I thought was just perfect. And Pablo, too. I think I saw Pablo on here. So we'll have a couple shares. All right, so let's...
It's okay with you, Nick. I'll take these sunglasses off now.
You can take them off, Freddie. You look so good in them, though.
Put some warmer trousers on, if that's okay. Well, at least Samantha's joined me. Look.
It's the Speedo. Freddie, it's the Speedo that gets me.
Yeah, I know. Well, you said to wear them. I don't know why.
I do have that on. I
think it was just for you.
All right, everyone. Welcome to the 2025 virtual goal setting retreat. Next year, we'll plan on doing this somewhere tropical together. But for now, we have to look through a computer, and we're going to have a great time tonight. Many of you know me. My name is Nicholas and I'm here with Freddie Jacquin, and we're going to lead you through some processes to help you program your subconscious mind, get clear on your goals, overcome any obstacles, and set a new path going forward. And I think we're going to have a lot of fun. Pablo says, Pablo, you can't see me? Can everybody see me?
Yep.
Yeah. So Pablo, my audio is on a different track. That's probably why. If you have the speaker mode, that might cause some problems with our recording. That's okay. All right. Okay. So first of all, I'd like to get everyone's outcomes. What do you want from this? So, 90 minutes or 2 hours from now, we've worked through all of our goals. What do you want from this? What do you want to feel at the end of this time together? What do you want to have in place? And what do you want to feel like? So you can leave a comment or you can just unmute yourself and chime in. We want to know, what do you want from this? It's always good to decide on our outcomes. Clarity and renewed hope. Excellent. Faith in self, abundance, money.
I like that one. Yeah. Big one. Money to buy Freddie a new pair of Speedos. That's one of my goals as well.
Okay. Release of tension. All right. Excellent. Anything else? Consistent follow through. That's a great one. Trust in self. All right. Beautiful. A lot of confidence here. Okay, excellent. We can definitely, Freddie, you think we can make him feel confident during this? Help him out?
You're going to feel so confident after this, you'll be unable to fail at anything.
That's right.
Just be flooded with a feeling of confidence.
All right, so this is a really cool and fun process, and it's something I've done with coaching clients for years. And when you get an idea into your subconscious mind, this is what all successful people do. They take an idea from their conscious mind and impregnate it into their subconscious mind. So my first coaching client back, I think in 2018, I had just got my first hypnosis certification, and I started working with him. And we did some of these processes that I'm going to lead you through tonight. I helped him get really clear on what he wanted to create in his life. I made him journal it. We worked through it in some hypnosis processes in his imagination. And this week, he sent me a pretty cool message. I posted about it if anyone follows me on Facebook. And he's on the call tonight, so I want to let him share his story. Pablo, if you want to share the good news of what just happened to you, we'd love to hear it.
Hey, Nick. Thanks for having me. So yeah, I just wanted to share that, like you said before, I think it was 4 years ago, right? We started working, with the goal setting, clarity, and hypnosis at the same time. I know you made a custom-made program for me. and I followed through the whole year. And during that time, Nick made me describe the perfect house. How do you see yourself? What's the perfect house for you that you see yourself living in? And then, you know, I did the whole text, and you know, last year, May last year, I bought this amazing house, and I didn't realize it was exactly the same description until I read it. So, and that's just one of the things that happened. Actually, what happened too, like I was able to reach my goal from that point on, all the years, you know, in a row, all the numbers that I had in my head, I was able to reach. But the house is just like the cherry on top, but everything else that went through, it was just amazing. So, yeah, thanks for sharing.
No, thank you. So we're gonna do some of that tonight. Does that sound cool? To get clear on what you want, make you write it out, and then live it in your imagination until your subconscious mind locks onto it. Sound good? All right. So before we do that, I'm gonna hand it over to Freddy in just a moment, and Freddy is gonna take you through last year, all your wins, all your successes, your gratitudes, and allow you to release anything you're hanging on to from 2024, and just to feel that sense of letting everything go and ready to move forward. So that's where we're going right now with 2024. Are you ready to do that, Freddie?
Yeah, if everyone's ready. I think they are. Yep.
So I want to give one warning. Don't go too deeply into trance yet. We got a lot of work to do. I know, Freddie, some of you tend to go off into a whole new universe. Be patient. We got plenty of that ahead of us. So Freddie, with that, I'll let you get started.
Okay. So if everyone's ready and you're in a comfortable position, make sure you're in a safe place. But no matter how relaxed you become, wherever you're sitting, or in Diana's case, lying, your bed or your chair will support you. Okay. So if you're ready to do this, just place your hands and your feet separately. So you haven't got your arms crossed, your legs crossed, and just get yourself comfortable. And when you're ready to do this, just take a breath in and just hold it for a moment. And as you breathe out, you can just like give a sigh, like you're just the end of the day, and just let go of any stress you might have. Just let it out and take another breath, and imagine you're breathing in that feeling of confidence you want, that feeling of determination. And as you breathe out, just allow your eyes to close. Only as quickly as you're ready to set these goals and create that life you want. Try it with your eyes closed. You can begin to relax. Although at times you may be more aware of some things than you were before. The sound of my voice, temperature in the room, certain sensations, the beating of your heart, and the thoughts and images that drift into the mind automatically. Just for a moment, think about the people you love, people that love you. Think about the things you've achieved in 2024. And just for a moment, allow yourself to go out there into the future. Think about the things you want to achieve. Physical goals, spiritual goals, financial, career goals. Let go of every limitation. Just for a moment, get a sense of yourself out there, living that life you want. Notice the way you move and the way you breathe. Step into that body, feel into it. Get a sense of what it feels like. Because with the eyes closed, it becomes easier to become more and more aware of a variety of things otherwise may go overlooked or ignored. Thoughts, feelings, sensations. The alteration of awareness as the mind begins that gradual letting go. That's right. Letting go even of the effort it takes to be aware of exactly where the arms are positioned, or the hands or fingers. Even the effort it takes to be aware of which leg seems to relax more quickly or completely than the other may seem to be too much effort to bother making. as you continue to learn even more than before about your abilities, your capacities to learn as you relax. And the mind begins to drift down toward a place of quietness, a place of peaceful inner awareness, a place that almost seems to give off signals that directs awareness down toward it, into it, more and more comfortably, more and more effortlessly, more and more completely and deeply than before. Where even the effort it takes to be aware of the sound of my voice or the meaning of my words may almost seem to be too much effort to bother making. It's so much easier simply to relax and enjoy that letting go, allowing events to occur in your own time, in your own way, a drifting down, deeper, deeper, deeper down. Get a sense of just drifting down through space and time. Imagine that's happening automatically. Imagine there's nothing you can do about it. 10, 20, 100 times deeper. Just when you think you've reached that ultimate space of profound hypnosis and trance, my voice, my words will take you 10 times deeper. Every word I say doubles that feeling. Everything I say now is your reality. You have a conscious mind and an unconscious mind. And that unconscious mind, the back of the mind, that instinctive, intuitive part of your being that runs that automatic healing ability, that runs your immune system, that beats the heart, that breathes the breath, can continue to hear and understand and respond to those things that Nicholas and I say without the need for you to do anything at all. It's so much easier for the conscious mind simply to relax and enjoy that letting go. Letting go even of the effort it takes to make the effort that it might take. To tell the exact position of arms, legs, or the entire body now that seems to drift through time and space. That wonderful free floating place of effortless relaxation and letting go. Allowing events to occur in their own time, in their own ways. You drift as a mind, and that mind drifts without boundaries, without borders, without limits. How incredible is your mind? How incredible are you? And as you drift in that space, I'd like your unconscious mind to allow you some of those empowering memories from 2024, things you've achieved, things you could be grateful for, people that maybe entered your life, people have helped you, people who support you. Just for a moment, think about the things that have happened for you in 2024 that's empowered you, that have allowed you to understand your worth, your value, and just how incredible you are. I'd like your unconscious mind to take those empowering memories, store them in that part of your mind that's there for those memories, to empower you into this 2025, so you can create that life you absolutely want. That's right. And as you drift in that space, notice that every limiting belief that was ever placed on you is swept from your mind. Get a sense of a tsunami of spring water washing through your mind, washing away every block. Get a sense of those blocks disintegrating, washing away, leaving you with pure clarity in your mind. You know what you want, and you know what you need to do to create that life. And now all that's needed is for you to allow yourself to do it in the right way for you. I wonder if any of you know anything about farming or fencing, especially those electric fences that some farmers use to keep horses in. They run these wires around the fields, and through that wire they run a current of electricity. Not enough to hurt anyone, but enough to give you a startling zap. And they stretch those wires around the fields. And as those horses wander from place to place, they brush against that wire. They feel that sudden sharp jolt of pain. And being really smart animals, they pretty soon learn where they want to go, where they don't want to venture. And they learn so well that after a while, a farmer can turn off the electricity. And he can even replace that wire with string. And those horses stay put, fenced in by nothing at all, by the thought that where they are is safe, providing they stay put. An invisible barrier created by the mind, an invisible boundary. But you know, once one of those horses goes through that fence, all the other horses follow. But where to go next? That's the problem everyone faces at some point. No one knows how a horse knows where it's going. But we do know, once it's seen the freedom at the bottom of the lane, it's really hard to rein it in. So much more fun just to hold on tight, see where that might lead us. And that's the pleasure any child can treasure. Even invisible barriers can be jumped over on the way to those goals. And so as you drift in that space, notice that every limitation is dropping away from you, leaving you with a clear view of what you truly want, how you want to feel, what you want to earn, what you want to create. Get a sense of that now, so you can bring that back with you in a while. And everything that Nicholas tells you becomes your reality. Get a sense of that happening. You know what you want. Just for a moment, allow yourself that pleasure. Imagine how you're going to feel when you have no more limits. When you have that clarity and the confidence you feel you're going to have just a little while from now. So go over it with your unconscious often as you need to know that you're free. Free to be, free to achieve, free to have that life you want. Because in a moment I'm going to count to 10. And every suggestion that Nicholas and I give you, your mind and body will act upon. On 8, your eyes will open, but you're going to keep this learning trance where you can absorb everything that Nicholas is going to teach you and be able to access that knowledge easily, effortlessly, and automatically. And on 10, this feeling of empowerment, this feeling of freedom, this new understanding of just how incredible you are, is going to grow stronger throughout these next few hours. 1, feeling wonderful. 2, to create that life you absolutely want. Do it fearlessly. 3, a feeling of freedom from every limiting belief that was ever placed on you. 4, feel the force of that new energy, steely determination and confidence flooding your body and mind. 5, feel incredibly alive now. 6, 7, 8, eyes opening, ready for your next instructions. 9, 10. Back in the Zoom. Excellent. Do you all know what you want? Yes? Right. Nicholas is going to show you how to achieve that. as you did with Pablo. It's an amazing thing, Pablo, when you turn around and realize that what you planned and what you dreamed of and what you set your intention on, it's become reality. My brother John, he had this dream house, like you, Pablo. He had this dream house, and he even knew the dimensions of that house. He'd written down the I don't know what you call it, the footfall or whatever you want to call it, the dimensions of where that house stood, the footprint, I think it's called. And he bought a house, and he hadn't even looked at the dimension of this house. Bought this house, and when he actually looked at it, it was exactly, I think, sort of kind of millimeter, the same footprint that he'd written down on his goals. So that's pretty how amazing our mind's in when we set it on a target. And you're going to do that this evening with Nick. So I hand over to you, Nick. Hope you're all back in the room. Yeah, Diana's back. That's nice. I purposely didn't make it too long, Diana, because I didn't want you to be sleeping through it all. It's lovely to see you. Okay. Away you go, Nick.
Make sure I'm unmuted here. All right. How great is everybody feeling? All right. Let's take a few minutes and write down some of your wins, some of your lessons, and some of your gratitudes from 2024. Let's celebrate some of those successes and yeah, just make a little list. What were some of your wins? What were some of your highlights? For me, it was hanging out with some of you in Las Vegas at Hypno Thoughts, getting on these calls every week. What were some of those highlights and wins for you? And I want to do a little reframe on regret while you're writing this. So if you have any regrets from 2024, a regret is really just a lesson that you haven't quite gotten into your subconscious mind. So if you look back and you regret something, you have to know that you did the best that you could with the knowledge that you had at that point. Now you regret it because you know better. But at that time, you didn't know better. So in the next section, you can write down some of the things you would have done differently. But there's no need to regret them as long as you learn the lesson from them. Because the next time that opportunity comes up, you will respond differently because now you have different capabilities. And once you do that, you can let any regrets from last year go. Can't you? All right, good. Does anyone want to share any wins or highlights from 2024? Does anyone have anything really cool they want to celebrate? Don't be shy. Yes, Michelle.
Hi, we moved into a new house. So my partner and I have got 2 kids each. And in the end of November, we bought a house big enough so all of our kids can come and stay, and they've all got room to have their own space and their own bedroom and just have a really nice family home.
Nice. That's awesome. That's
Thank
great.
you.
Nice to have that part of your life stable, isn't it? All right. Anyone else? And then we'll move on to the exciting stuff. Yes, Diana, besides being on these calls every week.
I think one of my highlights was meeting Freddy for the first time. That was absolutely excellent. We had such a great time, didn't we, Freddy?
Freddy, you're muted.
We did. We went up on the moors.
We did.
On the windy moors. It was lovely. Yeah.
It was great. Came to your
great.
house. It was really great. Had a wonderful day.
Did I
and
cook
a
you
wonderful retreat. It was super.
Did I cook you an omelette?
You did.
Well,
and my
yeah,
sister.
so, yeah. To see, so one of my special omelettes. That's something to celebrate. It's lovely to meet you. Lovely to meet you, Diana, in person. It absolutely was. Yeah.
And
so
Carmen, I see your hand. Oh,
Sorry?
Carmen, I see your hand up. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks, Diana.
Okay.
I started to say like a newfound independence, but it's really rediscovering that inner strength and independence, and then spiritual growth. That's what I like to celebrate. So.
Good. You seem more decisive already.
I feel very, you know, that's it. That's another part of it is I feel like I've improved in being decisive and also discerning. So, yeah,
That was your
and
word from the virtues call, wasn't it?
it was, wasn't it? Wow. You
Mm.
remember that well, Nicholas. You are so sharp.
Thank you. Excellent. I
Yeah.
love that.
Thanks for reminding me of that. Thank you so much.
And Dakota?
Well, I got to meet you guys, Freddie and you, Nick, from Hypnothoughts, and my wife doesn't have PMDD anymore. I got to go to Hypnothoughts, first time ever, and 1 year in business.
Fantastic.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent.
The only way is up. Yeah, see that.
All right. Excellent. So 2025. So is anyone familiar with Dan Sullivan? He runs a group called Strategic Coach for entrepreneurs. Anyway, he's got some really good frameworks. And so I'm going to borrow a little segment from him here. And before we set our 1 year goals, I want to have all of you set your 25-year vision for your life. So we want to know that big direction of where we're going. And I told Freddie about this, and he said, I don't even remember. What did you tell me, Freddie?
I said that makes me 98.
And I said, you're just getting started then.
That wasn't a very good visual, to be honest with you.
So I want you to create that life 25 years from now, because we want your subconscious mind to have something to orient towards. And most people never consciously take control of that. They may be 60 or 70, and subconsciously they're making images of them being old and crippled and in a nursing home. And of course, their subconscious mind takes them in that direction. But if now you set a goal that in 25 years, you're going to be healthier, making more money, having more fun, having great relationships, your subconscious mind will start to orient you to that direction. Now, part of the reason,
I think
Freddie.
that Elon will have perfected the Neuralink by then. I'll just be in a robust, or whatever they call it, one of those, just a brain in another kind of mechanical body. So it won't matter then. I'll be all right. I'll still be around. Yeah.
So one of the things about this that was impactful for me was, if I told you had to make $10 million in a year, many of you who aren't at that point would feel like that was impossible. But if I said in 25 years from now, you had to make $10 million in a year, I think that'd be a little bit more possible, right? Because, or even a million or 100,000, whatever that goal is for you, in 25 years, it seems very doable if you're working towards that. And so Dan says there's no unreasonable goals, only unreasonable time frames. And so I want you to take a moment. Well, I'm going to walk you through a little process here, and you're going to map out for each area of your life what it's going to look like in 25 years. Martin says he's going to be 91, so he's just going to be getting warmed up by then. Dolan's going to be 102. That's excellent. So think about how amazing your life is going to be at 102 years old, and you're going to reorient yourself that way.
Martin and I can start a boy band. That'll be fun.
So, yeah, so I'm gonna take you through this process, and I don't want you to even think about how you're gonna make that happen. Don't worry about the how. That's what the subconscious mind does. I just want you to think about, what do you want? What do you desire? Who do you want to be spending time with? And we're gonna do it in a trance, because I don't want your ego to be a part of this. I don't want your ego to think, oh, I got to have some status. I got to approve, I got to do something my parents approve of. I want it to be your true heart's calling. So we're going to do just a really quick process, a little light trance, and I'm going to put you into that state, and I'm going to bring you out of it. And I'm just going to have you journal for each category of your life. Does everyone have the workbook? I can put the link in okay, good. For each category of your life, what your life is like in those categories. And again, don't worry about the how. So take a minute and just get comfortable here and begin to relax again. And as you get situated and make any adjustments, take a moment and just thank your subconscious mind. That incredible part of you that has been with you from before you were born. The part of you that manages your heart beating, your eyesight, the growth of your hair, your emotions, the part of you that manages all of your habits. And just take a moment to connect with that part. And many believe that the subconscious mind lives in every cell of your body, filled with information to guide you through every part of life and to keep you safe and protected. And as you continue to connect with your subconscious mind, feel through the space inside your body. Imagine if your body was hollow, feeling the energy inside of your toes, up your legs. The feeling of space inside your heart. And inside your fingertips. And take a moment to connect with your true, authentic self. Some call it the soul, the higher self, the essence of you. And it may feel like a gentle, warm light growing inside of you. Knowing that there's no one to impress. There's nothing you have to do, that you are worthy and complete. All you have to do is listen to the desires of your own heart. And as you connect with that authentic part of you, see your life 25 years from now. And as you travel through time, notice how young and vibrant you still feel. What is your health like? What do you do for fitness? Imagine seeing that body in the mirror. Imagine your family telling you, "You look so young. How do you have so much energy?" What are your relationships like? Who do you spend time with? And what are your career and your finances like? How abundant are you? Who do you share all of your blessings with? What's your environment like? Your car, your home, your clothes? As this vibrant, young, intelligent person, what are your hobbies? What do you do for that sense of adventure? What's your spiritual connection like? What people and causes are you contributing to? Where are you making a difference at this point in the future? And finally, what skills and capabilities do you now have from 25 more years of practice, of experience, of success, and maybe even some setbacks? What did you learn from all of that that made you so incredibly skillful? And get a sense of what that life 25 years from now feels like. And let that feeling penetrate into every cell of your being, every muscle, every fiber. And imagine a vortex of energy spinning around you faster and faster, of that energy locking into every cell now. And in a moment, not yet, but in a moment, you can stay in this beautiful state. And in that moment, you can open your eyes and just write down everything you experience, everything you want to remember as you prepare to continue to have an amazing evening during this goal setting retreat. Taking a deep breath in, locking that feeling into every cell. And when you're ready, opening your eyes and just writing down everything about that future life. Who wants to share? Who came up with something that was a little surprising? Who had a little shift in how they felt?
Delane had a hand up.
Okay, Delane, would love to hear from you.
I was thinking, oh my goodness, what am I going to do when I'm 25 years from now? What will I be doing? And I thought, well, I'll be doing my podcast. I'll have a podcast by then. I'll be doing it on my front porch. And
I love that.
just like there was this lady, I think her name is Robinson. She did one. She was a comedian, this beautiful woman in the States. And as she was getting older, but she was a very humoristic, she was a comedian, but oh my God, she was hilarious. More for the community of church people. And she talked about her husband, and she was very funny, but I was envisioning myself like her, doing a podcast and entertaining people with things that are happening in my life, but also over time, having connected with a lot of people that I have done courses with and worked with, and also done courses with women who are looking to revive their dream in what they want to do with their life.
Sounds fantastic.
That's what I want to do, is help women connect with that dream that they've put on the back burner and want to reignite it.
Well, strange enough, Delane, I start a podcast on Sunday. So keep an ear out. Heart and Soul Hypnosis.
Oh, great. Thank you.
Yeah,
I do a
daily
video.
I'll send you all a link.
Okay.
Don't wait 25 years, Delane. Get started.
Well, I'm doing a
Much
daily.
easier than you think.
Yes, I am doing a daily video just on my own, just for a few minutes every day. Good morning, coffee, and just to chit chat, just so I can get comfortable talking.
Love it.
Well,
And
just imagine you're just talking to all of us.
Yes.
You know, we all love you. Just think, we love to listen to you. So get your mic out and just imagine you're speaking to all of us.
Okay. Thank you.
Take a screenshot of all of us on here, and then put it behind your mic.
Okay.
And just talk to all of us. That's how it goes. It'd be great.
That sounds like a great idea. Thank you.
And Delane, what are the odds that after 25 years of this, you would really know how to podcast, you would have made an impact on lots of people and you would have had a lot of success. Pretty good, right?
It would be pretty awesome. Yes, it will be pretty awesome.
That's right. That's right. All right. Excellent. Thank you for sharing. Anyone else?
Thank you.
I am going to do a radio broadcast. So there you go.
Were you expecting that, or was that a surprise?
No, it was a surprise. But somebody has mentioned it before and I ignored it. So it's come up. Yes, that's what I'm going to do. Okay.
So the best is when you go into that state and you just kind of ask and you feel around and you get something that you're like, oh yeah, that does make sense. Like that is, I feel like I really actually want to do that. Why did I not have that in a normal conscious state? So that's why I don't ask you what your goals and desires are in beta brainwaves. We slow them down a little bit and you get some different answers. So that's exciting.
That's right. It was a different answer. You're right.
Good.
All right. Anyone else before we go into the little goal setting exercise here for the year?
Hey, I saw myself horseback riding and diving. And the diving was totally unexpected. But I love that you put it so far out, 60, like for me, 65, right? Like, and to see the visions that I have for the next few years, way that far out, it's like really powerful.
Good.
I love it. Yeah.
Good. In 25 years, I will be 24 years old still. So that's where I'm going to be. And I'll be diving in horseback riding too. So excellent. Carmen, I saw you didn't have the workbook. So I just put the link to the workbook in the chat. If anybody still needs that workbook. But Diana, yes, I see your hand up.
Oh, yes. Hi. I also wanted to share what I've seen. Is it okay?
Absolutely. We'd love that.
Yeah, so I look pretty cool actually. I had really nice hair. I still had nice hair, shorter but nice. And I looked really happy and healthy, which is amazing. And I was living in a sunny place in a large white house. And what's really fantastic is that I had a husband and a son, and I don't have them now. So I was really happy. And I had a successful career. Apparently, I'm now still a delivery manager, but by then I will have been already a consultant advising companies. It's funny that this all came. And at the same time, I would have a charity, which I always wanted to have. Yeah, not run by me anymore, but just it would be my charity. That's my dream.
Yeah.
And I just seem so healthy, which is something so important, and smiling. I actually look happier than now, which is really lovely. And thank you so much. It has been such a profound exercise. I want to thank you.
Well, if you got an idea for a charity for you, Diana, just a thought, a home for old hypnotists. If you want to set up a charity for that, a home for old hypnotists.
Oh, that's such a fabulous idea.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Just a thought.
Yeah, no, I have lots of dreams in this area. It's actually my dream is to have a charity.
Yeah. Don't worry, I'll be there.
Excellent.
Thank
I love
you.
it. All right. Well, thanks everybody for sharing. Oh, Nolene, we got to have one more. All right, Nolene.
Imagine the mischief all of us together as old people that we'd get up to.
Yeah.
We'd have a lot of fun.
Yeah. Diana wouldn't have any hair left. I don't know about a nice hair.
All right. So now we've got our 25-year goals, or visions at least, and kind of a sense of what life is going to be like. And now we're going to take that and put this into a 1-year chunk. And from there, we're going to go into a little 90-day plan. So for this section, what I think we're going to do, we're all going to brainstorm a little bit together. I'll explain the process. Freddy can help. And I want you all to just pitch back and forth what your 1-year goals are, because we're going to help you craft them with the right language, with the right structure to make sure they're specific enough. And as you hear other people get feedback, you will adjust yours. So I'm renovating. Some of you know I own a jailhouse that's an Airbnb, And I'm in the process of renovating it, and we're putting crown molding and LED lights and painting, and we're making it really cool. So I'm up there with my contractors over the last few days. And if I had told my contractors, oh, just, renovate this house, make it look better, what do you think the odds are that I would get something that I would like? Pretty slim to none, right? So instead, I go up there and I say, all right, we're going to use this crown molding. So it's actually, we're stacking 2 crown moldings with this specific LED lights, this paint with this tint. We're putting a bookcase here, but the bookcase has to have this type of trim, and this room is going to be this color. I need you to caulk all of the trim with this color of white. I'm very specific about what I want, and then I'm letting them do the work. And I'm giving them feedback in the process. But if I gave vague instructions, I'm not going to have a project or an outcome that I like. And I think most of the time, people aren't giving good instructions to their subconscious mind. They're too vague. They're not specific enough. They're not in the present tense. They don't have enough emotion. There's a few parameters there that when you come upon a project, which we're going to do a project planning call later, when you come upon a project, if you're not specific enough, you're not going to succeed. So think about your subconscious mind as those contractors. They're not great at making decisions about what you want, but when you decide what you want, they will take the plans and they'll make it a reality. And so that's what your subconscious mind does, is when you give it clear instructions, it'll find a way to deliver it, but you have to be super clear. And so I'm gonna call someone out here, because a few years ago he was on my goal setting retreat and shared a story about getting a role, getting a call that he got the part. So Graham, do you remember the story that I'm talking about?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh yeah. Do you want me to give this story real quick?
Yeah, tell the story.
Okay, sure. So during COVID, I work in the film industry. I'm a professional stunt performer, and during COVID, all the film industry shut down. So I was out of work. I had no job, and I was thinking, I was like, what can I do? And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna manifest a job. I went to Unleash the Power Within. I know about incantations, right? So I'm like, I'm gonna start doing that every day, visualizing. And what I visualized was getting a call. And for a stunt performer, a good gig is being a lead double in a movie, doubling like a big name actor, right? So I was visualizing that every day. I was visualizing getting the call, right? Every day, day in, day out. Then a couple months later, I actually get a call to double Woody Harrelson in Man from Toronto. And I was like, sweet, I did it. So I was super excited. I was like, I did it, I manifested it. A week later, I go surfing. I jump off my surfboard into shallow water. I break my ankle and I can't do the gig. And I was like, shoot, okay. So what did I learn from this? I manifested the call. I didn't manifest doing the actual job. So you could tell me what you have done, but I was just thinking like I should have manifested, visualized the ending of the job, right? Finishing up, shaking hands, congratulations, that kind of stuff. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
kind of the
So,
summary.
and I've shared this before. I manifested a $100,000 check, but it was from one of my houses burning down. Right.
Yeah.
So when you don't go quite to the end state, you may manifest or create, or your subconscious mind may tune into an outcome that isn't quite what you want. And so that's why we're going to go through this process together. And I just want to make sure all of you have something that's at the end state, but you're speaking about it in the present tense, and it's very specific. It's possessive, meaning it's mine. So Graham would have said, that's my role. He wouldn't have manifested a role. He would have manifested his role. Like, that's my role. So we talk about my house or my income. So you want it to be in the possessive tense, in the present specific, and emotional. What emotion are you going to experience? So if I was, if we look back on that and I was going to coach Graham to think about that again, it may be sitting in the movie theater at the premiere next to some big star, watching, himself do some awesome stunts on the screen. That would be, you see how that's an end state? That's a totally different manifestation than manifesting a phone call. It's a great story. So I wanted to share that with all of you. So thanks, Graham. All right. So we're going to get to those top 10 outcomes for 2025. So let's take a moment, and I might have all of you do this, and we'll take we'll take a few minute intermission here, and we'll all kind of hang out and we can chat. But write down those top 10 outcomes for 2025. What that at the end of 2025, if you created, if you manifested, if you grew into, would totally change your life. And it could be in any category, anything you experienced from that 25-year vision. Bring that into a reality for December 31st, 2025. And leave the words I want or I will out, because that's not present tense. So I drive, I earn, I feel, I travel, not I will travel, because your subconscious mind puts that off into the future then. Or I want to travel. If you tell your subconscious mind, I want to travel, it says, yep, you sure do want to travel. But if you say, I travel, I'm traveling, that's a different command to your subconscious mind. So if you need to get up, take a restroom break, if you want to chat, if you want to share your goals and get some feedback, I think now is the perfect time. And Freddy, chime in. How can they think about structuring their goals here?
I think you got it down, Nick. I think they understand. You just exactly what you said. Visualize what you want, but do it in detail. Now, your mind and your brain works in like microseconds. If you think about it, it's the most super computer ever, but it needs direct programming and very precise programming for what you want. So let go any limitations and just think about how you want to feel. And if while you are thinking about that, you know my mantra now, feel into it and ask the question, how much fun is it? How much fun is it to be working with, as Brad Pitt's stunt double? I think I've shared my goal with you. I want my film out there. I want my book turned into a film. So that's my goal. So if you can all dream of being on that red carpet with me, that'd be great. And Graham can be the stunt double for the lead actor in that film. Yeah. He's a bad guy, by the way. So.
All right, let's get some shares. I want to do some feedback back and forth because I think that's going to help everybody. Yes, Blaine.
Hello, everyone. I'd love some advice on this. So I had a good old pension going, right, for my retirement. Okay. But because of circumstances, I had to freeze it. So now my future is just depending on a state pension, which is worth kind of diddly squat compared to what I will manifest. So it's beginning to bother me as the finishing line it's far enough away, but I'd prefer obviously to get back on track and have a nice, comfortable retirement.
What would you like to have happen?
I would love, and I will have a comfortable retirement, because I always remind myself, money always finds me. I've been blessed. Just when I worry about, money always finds me. But I would love my unconscious to reveal to me so that I won't be wondering about it. Do you know? I can see myself. I was on that cruise. I was with my soulmate, like-minded, same values, with lovely people on one of these spiritual cruises. You know, these cruises that you can go on, Abraham.
Yes.
Anyone know Abraham?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'm on that cruise and we're like-minded and it's all great. And I'm standing there, happy, healthy, fit. And I'm saying, isn't it great now that the passive incomes are ticking over and we don't have to worry about the future because we've got a passive incomes ticking over, keeping the account balanced.
So let's break those down into a couple different goals, maybe. So the partner, I have an incredible relationship with my soulmate. I go on this type of cruise. I and use emotional words. I feel gratitude on this type, on Abraham Hicks cruise. I break those down into a few different segments. Yeah. And I've got a little part here that came to me today that I want to share. So I feel like a lot of people that are attached to money. Is it all right if I go off on a little 5-minute tangent about money real quick? Okay. I feel like a lot of people that are very risk averse or attached to money It's because they're not confident in their ability to earn the money back quickly. So if you had $1 million in the bank and you only earned $100,000 a year, you would be pretty uneasy if you lost that $1 million, wouldn't you? But what if you had $100,000 in the bank, but you had $1 million a year skill set that you knew you could earn $1 million a year? Would you feel attached to that 100,000? Like if that $100,000 was gone, would it affect you mentally or emotionally? So it's not that you need more money in the bank to feel good. You need a skill set that is going to bring you that income. Because if somebody takes everything that you have away, but you've got a skill set that you know you can rebuild it back quickly, there's never any need to have an attachment or a worry about money. Is this making sense to everyone? So when I was, a few years ago during COVID, I was freaking out because I had so many real estate projects going, and I had to learn how to generate cash. So I had a bunch of money in projects, and I was, working in debt because that's what you do when you buy rentals. And so I pulled out my credit card and I spent $5,000 on this coaching program to learn how to buy real estate with nothing down. I made 10,000 calls that year, and pretty soon I had a skill set that could generate loads of cash because I studied, I learned, and I've developed this skill set. So I'd love for all of you, and one of your goals to be developing a skill set that will make your financial success inevitable, like a byproduct. Does this make sense? So instead of being general, like you could say, I want to be a better hypnotist. That's pretty vague. But if you were like, I want to be one of the world's best at using hypnosis to remove chronic pain, you could probably do that by studying with Freddy, reading some books, and practicing with people in a matter of months. Like Freddy's technique works incredibly. All you have to do is go practice it. Like it's incredible. So if you have a clear vision about what that skill set is, I think your financial goals would be just a byproduct of that. And so one of your goals that I want you to consider is, what is that skill set? I think Allison's on. Maybe it's mastering open houses. If you could go, she's a realtor. If you can lead an open house and get 2 or 3 clients from every open house you do because you're so good at it and you present in such a way and you learn from the best, you could write, you have as much income as you want. Is everyone following this? So I think so many people get stuck on this idea of passive income, but passive income is a byproduct of creating something great and doing something you love to do in the meantime. Allison says she's on. I know you are, Allison. That's why I'm talking about you. Does that help, Blaine?
Yes, and that's isn't it remarkable? I actually and thanks to the wonderful Freddy, I was invited to give a talk to a group of spiritual people. They came over to Ireland on a retreat. So cutting the story short, went into self-hypnosis and for myself because I was really nervous. So I did a talk, asked for volunteers, the suggestibility. And one girl actually said she'd volunteer. So anything bothering you, I have pain in her leg, push her through Freddy Jacqueline's arrow technique, pain gone. So again, one of the highlights of as we're in the last few years, was actually meeting Freddy. So interesting that you mentioned pain, because pain is something I'm kind of drawn to with the hypnosis. It's such such coincidence, isn't it?
So you've got a skill set. How much would people pay to get out of chronic pain? All you have to do is master it, practice it a little, and market yourself. And I think, how much joy did you get in doing that?
Yes, great joy.
So I want to, in just a minute, I want to have some of you share what your skill sets that you want to develop are that would make your financial goals a non-issue. It would make them a byproduct, because it's really just a matter of finding someone to learn from. You could read 10 books on a subject and be ahead of 95% of people. And then you just got to go get your reps, whether that's sales calls, creating content, public speaking. You got to stay on the task long enough to become an expert at it. And once you do, you have a skill set that someone could take everything you have, put you in a new country, and you would figure it out because you've got something, you are something more than you were previously, or you at least got a skill that can earn you that money. So I'd love for you to focus on one of those for your goals. So saying that, I would love to hear people continue to share what their visions and their goals are for 2025. Let's get some of this language down.
Yeah, can I just quickly say about Blind? Blind's, we've all just been listening to Blind, and she's the most kind of, I don't know, softest, loveliest souls. We know that, you know, and so that's a head start, because that's where she comes from, especially when it comes to helping people out of pain. And you've got that skill, Blind. If you can do it with one person, you do it 1,000 people, you can do it, you know, 1,000,000 people. And then, as for all of us that you're doing therapy as well, the big skill set, which most of us ignore because we don't come into it to sell. We generally come in, we want to help other people, but the marketing side of it and putting ourselves out there, doing the videos and all those things that we all hate doing. But that's, you know, that's the skill set you need. And so that's where we've got to go. I often say, when I train lots of people to be hypnotherapists, and so many people think they're only working when they got a client sitting in front of them. You know, if they're all starting out and you're only seeing 5 clients a week, then let's say you're in general would be working, like if you went to any other job, it'd be 40 hours a week. Now that's 35 hours a week you should be dedicating to making videos, marketing your business. You know, and that percentage changes as you get more and more clients. You know, back in the early 1990s, I went to America and I had a house, but I had it rented out in the UK. And I came back and I was walking down the road and I really had no money at all. And my father pulled up beside me in a car and he said, "How you doing, Sonny boy?" And he always called me Sonny boy because he had 4 sons and he couldn't remember any of our names. So he couldn't get him by that. He would just call all of us Sonny boy. So he said, "How are you, Sonny boy?" I said, "I'm okay." He didn't even realize I'd been away in America. I left home when I was about 15. And he said, "How you doing for money?" And I looked in my pocket, honestly, I had £3 coins. And I looked at it, I said, "I'm okay, thanks. I've got 3 quid." Because I've always known, as long as I can speak, I can earn. So that's never been a thing for me, you know, and as long as I can speak, I can earn. That's my kind of skill set. But, you know, it's just knowing you already have that ability. You know, you have all the ability you need. And then the question is, what are you willing to do? You know, that's the last question in my goal setting thing. What are you willing to do to create that life? And if we answer that question and be willing to do it and put aside any fears and anxieties, that's what Nick's going to take you through next. So you can get to that point where you know exactly what you want and you know how to create it and you know what you're willing to do to make it happen. That's what, you know, that's where Nick's taking it. And there is no one better than Nick. We've got Pablo here and we've got Graham here who can, you know, can tell you that's what's happened for them. And he can do the same for you. So, you know, back to you, Nick, and anyone else that wants to speak and share their goals.
Yeah, that thing that you should focus on becoming world class at is probably the thing that scares you and excites you, right? That thing that's just on the edge of your comfort zone that you're like, you know, I should do that, but not today, right? Like whatever that is, that's the skill that you should commit to mastering in 2025. Who wants to share if either the skill or something they want to create? Yeah, Pablo.
Hey, Nick, so I wrote down for you, and I hope we're going to make it. I'm sure you're going to make it. So it was
Did you
one
say
of the goals.
to come to St. Martin?
You got it. I said,
Okay.
I'm happy to receive Nick in St. Martin for his annual retreat in a beautiful villa and watch the sunrise at 5:30 a.m. during our yoga and visualization morning routine. There you go.
No one on this call wants to go to St. Martin to hang out with Pablo and do a retreat, do they?
Sounds terrible to me. Yeah.
I know.
I've got my wine shirt. Might as well use it. Exactly.
There you go.
Having to waste
Keep it. You're going to use it when you come here. That one. Same one.
Yeah.
That sounds great. That sounds excellent, actually. All right, who else? And Pablo, like when I read your message on the house, like it was worded, I don't know if I coached you through this or you did it on your own, but how you worded the house, it was just perfect because it was emotional, it was present. You nailed it. So, and that one the same way. So you must be practicing this. Thank you. Sarah.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, I was having trouble getting unmuted. So I haven't worded this yet because I've written down 5 of my outcomes so far, but the one that really scares the shit out of me is I want to be on stage in front of a lot of people. I know I'm supposed to be on stage, and I want to host retreats. This has been a dream for, I don't know, 15 years. And I need help wording that because I think it's like my conscious mind is like, nah, but my subconscious mind is super excited, and I can actually visualize myself doing that. Um, and then when I really start to think about it, I kind of clam up a little bit.
How do you feel about giving a free talk to 5 people?
I feel good about that.
Okay. How would you feel about giving a free talk to 10 people?
Little more scary, but okay.
All right. So to get on a big stage, you don't start with a big stage. Like that seems like a big leap, right? Like that's intimidating. But if you go give a free talk to a group and you are terrible at it, and they probably don't even know you're terrible, they probably think you're great. And you say, okay, I got through that. And then you go do a second one and a third one. And then you charge a little bit. And then you get really good testimonials and you take one talk and you master it. I mean, you could take all the stuff we've done on these broadcasts and turn it into a little subconscious talk and really master that message and master your craft and video it and practice it and go from 10 to 20 to 100 and work your way up to that. That seems pretty doable, doesn't it?
Yeah, that feels comfortable.
And you have to speak to really get your message down. Like when I started, I would share stuff and then sometimes I would say something and be like, oh, that was pretty good. Like I'm keeping that. But it takes a lot of reps. It takes a lot of speaking to get that message down. So don't think like I'm going to go on a big stage and I'm going to crush it tomorrow. Start with that little talk and just get those reps in. Like I talked about last week, Tony Robbins would go speak every day when people in his speaking group were speaking once a month. So if you can go get those talks and you're putting out content, your message will come and your skills will get there. And when you step onto that big stage, it'll feel like the most natural thing in the world.
So I had experience in the past with, I used to work for corporations, and so I would go and talk to their, management and CEO even, and I was super comfortable doing it. And then I've had sort of a gap in doing that. So I think it's just a matter of getting myself pumped up and motivated to do that again, because I know that it's in me and I loved doing it. And
So
as soon as I start talking, I'm okay.
So Sarah, how nervous would you be if you were talking to 1,000 people, but I was standing right beside you, we're doing it together? How nervous would you be then?
I wouldn't be nervous.
Well, then, the thing about it is, Sarah, I am right beside you. I do believe in you. All you got to imagine is I'm right beside you and listening to you, because I am. And you can do anything, can't you? Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds a lot less scary.
Yeah, you do it. You absolutely can do it. You've got these skills now. You've worked with us for a while. You worked with me for a while. You have all the skills you need, and you can just go and blast it. And all you have to do is just get a sense of me right there with you, having some fun. How much fun can we make that? Presenting to 1,000 people, showing them how brilliant they are, showing the power of their mind. I can't think of anything better. Can you? No. Well, try and feel that fear now. Where's that fear gone now? Try and think of it. Where's it gone?
I can't. I'm excited.
You won't be able to feel it again. It's done. I can't wait to see you. Can't wait to see the videos.
Thanks, Freddy.
So you all know what, I talk about visualization, right? Performance, forming that image in your mind, mentally rehearsing it. And so this thing that you're afraid of and excited about, just mentally rehearse it until you're comfortable doing it. Like it's actually really that simple. I've got a recording in the course section. It's free. Freddie and I, we do these calls every week to help you practice that thing that's going to make the difference in your life. So if it's public speaking, if it's doing a podcast, if it's making sales calls, all of these things, I've taken mental rehearsal to the point where I do it enough that I'm just comfortable. And my subconscious mind goes, oh, I know what you want to do in this situation. Oh, I know how to close this sale. I've seen people speak in public. I know how to get you to do that. But if you're not giving it those clear instructions, it's not going to do it. It's going to be a conscious goal. So we're going to take everything you're writing and put it in your subconscious mind with some direct suggestion and mental rehearsal and a few of those things. So that's kind of what the second half of this call is about. Sarah, thank you for sharing that. And I'm sure when you put your focus to it and you just start taking action and getting reps, you're going to do really well. All right, let's get a couple more. Who else? Who else wants to share? It could be in any category of life, your finances, relationships. What's something that you're committed to creating in 2025?
Hey, Nick,
Creating or becoming? Yes, Caitlin.
I have a question. So I'm right, like on point with Sarah as far as that dream. And I don't have any issue of speaking to the large groups, 10,000 people, I'd be fine. The issue is booking the gigs. And like you said, there's just practicing, repeat. There's so many ways to do that, from a webinar to the podcast, to my classes, right, to local spaces. So how do you go about choosing, like, because I don't want to disperse myself and not get any of it done, right? But I want to master the skill of the speaking. But in today's world, it's not only in person, right? So we go back and forth. And so like visualizing the end result, visualizing the booking the gigs, like networking. I'm just a little bit lost there. And then a second follow-up question is regarding the money. A lot of people say don't set a goal around money. Like you have to, I think Rose was even one of the big people saying that you have to have the thing that you want to do with the money, whatever it is. And so what are your thoughts on that?
All right, I'll start with the money question. I think it can go either way. I've done both. I don't think at the end of the day, for most people, money, like once you've got your basic needs met, I don't know that it's that motivating. So I think the thing that money's going to get you might have more of an emotional pull for you. But I think you can do either way. I mean, your subconscious mind I've certainly programmed money goals into my subconscious mind and achieved them. So, I mean, I know it can do it. It's just, is that the best way for you? Is that what you really want? Or is there something else you really want from that? And then, does that answer your question?
Yes. Yeah. That's
okay.
fine.
And then, the speaking thing, I guess, let me ask this. So this is to all of you as you look at your goals. What's your outcome? Because if we don't have an outcome, I can't really give you any directions, right? Because you're like, oh, I can speak. How do I get speaking gigs? But I'm not clear on what your outcome is.
There's too many outcomes. That's the issue.
Well, that's why we're doing this.
What's going to give you the most? What are you passionate about? If speaking to 10,000 people, how incredible are you going to feel if you do that? Now, how is that the thing that you want to do, or is it helping 10,000 people change their lives? I don't know what you're actually presenting on, but what is the thing that gets you up in the morning, gets your juices flowing, gets you passionate? Because if you can find that, the money will follow. But money in of itself is not, it's just a tool, isn't it? For freedom to achieve the things you want to achieve. It's not money in itself is if you were living on a desert island, and you had £1 million in a suitcase or $1 million in a suitcase, what would you swap it for a can of soup? That's it's just money unless you know what you're going to spend it on. So
right, it's definitely not the money,
saying?
It's the impact.
No, it's what can you do? I mean, and that I know Blind, she spoke about helping that person out of pain. I know for me that I don't think for me there is anything more satisfying than helping another human being out of pain, and whether that's fear, anxiety, or the limiting beliefs they have. Whether it's if you're working with corporates and you're helping someone achieve their financial goals, how much fun is that? That's the thing that I get passionate about, and I think the money obviously follows because you're doing something you love. So I don't know if that helps you, Caitlin, but if you can get clear on what it is you're doing it for, why are you doing it? What is your reason for wanting to speak to 10,000 people? What is that reason? If you can get clear on that, then the rest will fall into place.
And Caitlin, don't filter this. This is like, let me write these down because we're going to take 3 of these and come up with a little bit of a plan. So if you've got, you know, multiple, just write them all down. You don't have to filter those out right now.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions on our top 10 outcomes? So if you're at the end of December 31st, 2025, looking back and you've accomplished these few things that would just make your year a massive success, what would those be? Does anyone need any more clarity? Does anyone have a really good one that they're proud of that they want to share? Come on, don't be shy. We need some fuel to put in our hypnosis processes, so I need some feedback here. Do people need more time? Is everyone done with this?
Hey, Stephen's got a smile on his face. I know he wants to share something.
Delane, yes.
Just small. I hope the dog doesn't bark. Whoops. Because I had to let him out. Okay, I wrote all my 10 out. I wrote that I started speaking at different venues and like Chamber of Commerce senior groups, and that I started my my hypnosis workshop business this year because I haven't started it yet, but I'm working on it.
So what's the end state? So you said I've started this business, but let's get
for
give your subconscious
2025. I started it, and it generated me. It generated the money for me to feel less stressful. That's what, you know, so that I had an income coming in. And
let me interrupt you there. So if you feel
okay.
less stressful,
yes,
what do you feel instead? Let's go positive oriented. Instead of not stressed, what do you feel?
Energized and excited.
Did everyone see that shift in her energy right there? From I'm less stressed to energized and excited, like your whole body lifted up. That's excellent. That's how we want to write goals.
Yes, I feel more excited about every day that I'm able to go to, you know, have this work come to me and helping people and just feeling I'm uplifting people in their journey to get what they want. This is what I want to do. I want to help other people get what they want so they can, you know, go out into the world and enjoy it equally.
I love that. I love that. And this is for everybody, but if you can be super specific when you say, I want to help people, what people, and you say, get what they want, what do they want? And so that's marketing right there. Is that finding a phrase there that's specific? Because then you speak to someone else's subconscious mind. I help entrepreneurs or realtors or solve this problem. And you may already have that, but this is just kind of general for everyone. That's where success is. Okay.
Here's a nice mantra for you, Delane. You've heard me probably say it. You know, just repeat this to yourself. I am creating the life that I want by helping others create the life they want. And run that in your mind. I'm creating the life that I want by helping others create the life they want. That sounds like that's your goal.
All right, let's take this into
Pablo, I think just wanted to say something. I'm not sure.
Yeah, Pablo.
I just wanted to share quickly based on what Caitlin said. I'm very money oriented, and I have no problem talking about money. So the one for this year said, I am proud of myself for making 700,000 gross commissions in 2025. So for me, it's just about reach that number, and the actions, like, you know, like Freddy said, like, you know, the money is like a consequence of the efforts that you put, and the 700,000 for me is a number, you know.
But you know, we need we need a goal. We need a target. You know, whether it's a financial target or whether it's, you know, an emotional target, what you're going to get from earning that money. Either way, as long as it's a clear goal, it's what we have. I remember one of my favorite things about the Zig Ziglar. You probably heard him, and he said, you know, there was this archer, you know, Olympic archer, and this guy could take a bow and arrow and fire an arrow into the target, then take another arrow and split the arrow that he'd fired. He was that good. And Zig said he could take anyone off the street within half an hour. He could have them hitting the target more consistently than this guy, Arthur Brown, or whatever his name was. He said, providing we blindfold him and spin him around a few times. And he said, well, you might say that's ridiculous. Now, how can he hit a target he cannot see? And Zig said, how can you hit a target you do not have? And that's something, you know, so many people go through life, they don't have a very clear target. But whatever that target is, it doesn't matter if it's financial, but it's something, it is, you know, you can always go past that target, but you must have that target, and it must be definite. Like, that's why you're achieving what you're achieving, Pablo, because it's very clear in your mind. I want this kind of house, and I'll give myself that time to make that, get that house. Now it's a financial goal. And I have no doubt, and I don't think anyone on this call doubts that you'll absolutely hit that goal. So, you know, thanks for sharing that. It's really important.
That's what I was going to say. You know, who on here feels pretty confident Pablo's going to hit that?
Oh, everyone.
Because it's in the present tense, right? Pablo raises his hand. It's in the present tense. He's got emotion behind it. He's specific about it. It's positively oriented. And so when you can create a clear vision like that for yourself, when you write these goals, other people are going to follow you because they know where you're going. But if you have vague goals, vague instructions, you can't influence other people because you're not influencing your own subconscious mind. So your goals aren't stated in a way that's going to influence their subconscious mind. So Sarah asked, should we state a specific amount we want to make? If income, Sarah, is a priority, then yeah, you can, absolutely. But if helping 100,000 people through your podcast, you know, that might not be an income goal, and it may hit your income goals just naturally. But yeah, if that's what's on your list and that's what's important, then yeah, it can be. Absolutely.
I don't want to limit myself either, right? So it's like I have trouble coming up with an amount because I don't want to limit myself. So how can we state that in a positive way?
Just add at least, and then the amount you want to have, because then it can always surpass it.
Thank you, Jasmine. I always write, you know, X dollars or more. So everyone look at your goals. If you have a financial goal, Pablo, 750,000 or more.
Yeah.
Add those few words. Thank you, Jasmine. That's a great, at least or more.
No, the great thing about that is if you've got a financial goal like that, you know, a definite financial goal, then you can break it down to what you need to do each week or each day or each month. You know, that's the thing about it. And then you've got those short-term goals. This week, I'm going to speak to this many people. I'm going to do whatever it is. But if you don't have that financial goal, it's very difficult to break it down to see what you need to do. In the case of, you know, a case of therapy, you might say, well, to do that, which sounds like a lot of money, I only need to see 10 clients a week at this much money. That will give me that income. You know, that's how I always look at it. That it comes down to, well, how many people do I need to see a day? And then it seems easy, doesn't it? Well, I must be able to see 2 people a day if I do this much marketing and put that much effort in, rather than thinking I've got to see X amount of 100 people a year to create that. But when you break it down to a daily amount or a weekly amount, then it becomes much easier in your mind and doable to see what you have to do. And then the question is always the question, you know, how badly do I want that? That's the only question when it comes to physical goals, financial goals, whatever it might be. The only question is, how badly do I want that? You know, that's it. When I see my clients for weight loss, I say the two questions: how badly do I want to look and feel that good? And what am I willing to do to make it happen? And then we got it, haven't we? And we do things like we were talking about this, like, you know, breaking these down to 15 minutes a day, something you're going to do every day, these tiny habits that will create that financial goal at the end. And we can all do that. And it's not about motivation. Really, it's not. You can be as motivated as you want. If you're not disciplined, it's not going to happen. So discipline is where you want to go. And it starts with little things, 15 minutes a day. Until you've got that down, it's easy, and it goes to 30 minutes a day. So discipline is your main thing. You know, I often say, you know, the top of Mount Everest is littered with the bodies of highly motivated people. You know, it's about being disciplined enough to get to your goal and enjoy it when you're there, not kill yourself on the way up there.
That perfectly segues into our next segment here. So take a moment and circle those top 3 goals that if you accomplished in the next 90 days would be a massive success for you. So what are those top 3 goals? Or you can chunk down one of the goals into a smaller goal if you want as well. And then take those 3 goals or outcomes and write them on page 4 for each outcome. Remember, present, specific, emotional, positive. Make that outcome so that you could hand it to someone else, like your contractors, and they could renovate your house for you. And for each one of those outcomes, we're going to identify 3 projects and 3 rituals. So we're going to keep it simple. You can do less than 3, but no more. So a project is a series of action items to create an outcome. So you may need to put a system in place for your business, or a system in place, or you may need to learn a skill before you execute on it, right? So learning a skill, putting a system in place, those would fall under projects. And then those tasks that you need to do either daily or weekly, those would fall under rituals. So a project might be getting clear on your audience, setting up your YouTube channel, recording your podcast intros and outros. And then the ritual would be to record those episodes every week to edit and publish them. It can really be that simple. So what are those really important projects for each outcome? And then those rituals that if you do these, your success would be guaranteed. Remember during we did the subconscious success system a few months ago, and I talked about Steph Curry and how he would hit 500 3-pointers a day in practice. 2 million over his career. What are the odds that he's going to succeed? It would be highly unlikely that he wouldn't. What are those rituals for you that when you do them every day, your success would just be inevitable? If you were putting out a YouTube video every day, would it even really be possible for you to fail? If you were speaking to a group every week in a year, how different would your life be?
Nick, can you give another example of a project?
Sure. So I was thinking about some examples today, and I was thinking, if I wanted to master the skill of being an email marketer, let's say I wanted to build a business as that. One of the projects might be to create a template or a framework for email marketing. So I might go buy and read 10 books. I might join a Facebook group of email marketers. I might hire a email marketing coach. So that might be a project. So I could kind of develop my skills. And once I have the skills, then my rituals would be to reach out to businesses and write emails. So for right now, like I said, I'm renovating the jailhouse. The project is the physical renovations of the house and then putting better Airbnb systems into place. So we've got all this technology that communicates to each other and locks that communicate to the property management software. So those are projects. And then the rituals would be regular communication with my staff, regular bookkeeping, assessing, all of the things to run a business. Does that help?
Yeah, thank you.
Perfect. All right, how's everyone doing? Does anyone want to share? Does anyone have questions? Want some coaching? Easy peasy, huh? We're going to do, I think I mentioned this, we were going to do it last week, but there's a project planning guide we're going to do in the next week or two to take some of these projects and help you plan and organize them. Am I freezing?
No, you're okay.
Okay, good. All right, so how are we feeling? Projects and rituals that if you complete these, your success would pretty much be guaranteed, right? Is there anyone that doubts that? Is anyone still working through some of that? We're good on timing?
I have one question.
Yes.
So with projects and outcomes or rituals, so if I wanted to learn marketing, or like, I feel like that's the only thing that I don't feel like I know. So what kind of project or ritual would I do for marketing? I guess if that's what it
Sure.
is.
So a vague goal would be to learn marketing or get better at marketing. You want to, what specific type of marketing and what specifically would be your outcome?
Okay. So then the outcome would be that I get more clients, which would equal more money, um, which would equal uh, financial success, I guess. Being
Okay.
able to give to charity, to
Sure. So I think it's just getting clearer on what type of marketing channel you want to master to what end. So who you're speaking to, what and how, like how many leads, how many people do you want on your email list? How many leads do you want to come in every day? And so when
okay.
that's clear, and you might say, you know, I have a podcast that brings me 100 new leads per week. Like that's a pretty specific outcome, right? And then you take that as the outcome for the project, and then you say, okay, well, how would I do that with this podcast? And then you can go study, learn, and put pieces into place.
Okay, so marketing could be something I'm doing already. I just don't realize that that's marketing.
I've seen your Facebook post. That's marketing. So
Just
now the question is, how
okay.
do you scale that?
Okay.
And it starts with that very clear outcome.
Got it. Thank you.
All right. All right, and then we're gonna do one last thing, and I'm gonna have Freddy run you through a process here. And that is a 2025 not to do list, a do not do list. So what are the things you did in 2024 that you are committed to no longer do in 2025? Diana's freaking out a little bit over there. It's okay, Diana. We're gonna get through this. It's
how many
identify. Yes, Allison.
How many on the list? Another 10 or?
As many. This is up to you. It's your list. However many you want. It might be something like, I'm not going to cut my grass anymore. I'm going to have someone else do it. It might be, I'm not going to fly coach anymore. I'm flying first class. It might be, I'm not going to spend time with people that are negative or gossip. It might be, I'm not going to look at my phone 2 hours before bed. Whatever you're committed to not doing in 2025. Something that when we lift that off your shoulders, you're like, oh my goodness, what have I been waiting for?
Does anyone remember what people did with the 4 hours they now scroll for every day? Before we had smartphones, what were people doing for those 4 hours? And what could you achieve? I know it's scary if you've got an iPhone, it will tell you how much time you spend looking at your phone. I know we don't want to look at it because it's a very scary fact, but have a look and think, if I was to put just that time that I spend scrolling into my business, how much more money would I earn? And you'll be amazed how much time that is. For most people, I think it's equivalent of 100 days a year that people actually spend on their phone scrolling. I worked with a guy years ago who smoked 40 cigarettes a day, and he quit. And he rang me up a couple of weeks later and he said, I've quit. He said, I can't believe it. He said, I've been smoking for 30 years. And he had an IT recruitment company. And he said, what I hadn't realized was I was spending 2 hours a day smoking. He'd leave his desk, go outside because he couldn't smoke at the desk, go outside, light a cigarette, smoke a cigarette, 40 cigarettes a day. And he said, I didn't realize how much time I was spending smoking. And I said, well, what would happen if you picked up the phone an extra 40 times a day instead of going out for a cigarette? He said, I'd earn another £10,000 a month. I said, well, there you go. So look at the things that you're doing. I'm guilty of it, and I'm old and I scroll, and I'm guilty of it. I've just written that down as one of the things I'm not going to do. But we're all guilty of those things. Look at the time that we actually waste when we could be putting that time into learning more marketing. If you spent another hour a day just studying, sales funnels and email marketing or whatever it is, if you just did that every day, how good would you be at the end of the month at learning that skill? So maybe look at those things, and you'll be amazed how much more time you can find in a week.
I just watched a podcast about a guy who's talking about blue lights and how detrimental they are to our health. And Stefan asked, can hypnosis help reducing the time we spend on a phone? And it can, but here's the thing. So, I'm building landing pages and I'm communicating with all of you guys, coordinating, putting links together and creating content. So I'm on here, but I get onto Facebook to message some of you have questions. And then it's like, I'm down a rabbit hole 10 minutes later. I'm like, where did those 10 minutes go? And I think the only way to get a handle on it is completely off, because they're programmed that once you open an app, it's like, it is hypnosis. It's like you get sucked into another world. You're switching context, your dopamine's going. And so I think the only solution is I don't turn it on until 9 or 10 in the morning. And then I turn it off at 6 or 7 at night. And you have that time where you're just completely without it. I honestly don't know a better solution. I mean, I turn my phone on grayscale and I do a few things. But I think it's a modern problem that I think we're all working through.
If you haven't read it already, get Tim Ferriss's book, The 4-Hour Work Week. And he's got that down to a fine art, where he has an hour where he answers his emails. He does it, and if he doesn't answer it, then he deletes it. I've got it's a horrendous amount of emails, like 5,000 emails. I think I'll look at it later, and it's still on there. So spend. You look at that book; it's really good, and he separates that time. I'm going to spend this much time answering my texts. This time of the day, I'm going to be answering my emails, and after that, it's done. And that gives you so much more time. So it's worth looking at. He's written a few books like that. The 4-Hour Body, the 4-Hour Work Week. They're worth looking at. And if we, do what he's talking about in there, and we can all do it. We spend that time doing something towards. If it's business and more money you want, just think, if I had an extra 4 hours a day just focused on marketing my business, how much more business will I do? And then you'll realize how much time we're wasting looking at that small screen.
The other thing that I do, I know this is a little bit off topic, but when I wake up, if I'm writing an email or sales copy or a hypnosis audio, I will only put it on paper. So my computer's not up. I'm not looking at a screen. Everything I write to create, it's on paper, and then I can type it later. So I'm not getting distracted. I'm not getting interrupted. I think that's another step we can take. And also, many of you have probably noticed when you're at an event or you're with people, how much time do you spend on your phone? It's probably way less. When you're by yourself, that's when it's easy because you want that connection. So if you plan to have constructive time with other people, I think your phone becomes less of an issue. Or if you work with other people or you're creating something with other people, because we all want that connection, right? And the cell phone gives us the illusion of connection. All right. Is everyone feeling? Yes, Jasmine.
Yeah, there are also apps that actually prevent you to log on or like limit the time. And what helped for me was to remove them from the home screen and the automatic login. So whenever I want to use them, I need to go in my whole list of apps, type in the password, so you actually become aware that you would use it just out of habit when you don't need it. And I deleted literally everything out of guilt, disconnected with friends that I wasn't aligned with, and just put stuff on my feed that actually would advance me towards my goals. So I've got a certain board of internal advisors, kind of like people that inspire me, and I just have them on my feed and nothing else. So when I go on there, I just see stuff that would actually take me forward.
Love that. I love that.
And I think a really good question we can ask ourselves as we go through our day, whatever we're doing, you know, whatever our goal is, you know, is what I'm about to do taking me toward or away from my goal? And if the answer is taking me away, then do something else. You know, it's a simple question. And I use it for my people that come and see me who want to, you know, want to lose weight. You know, is what I'm about to eat taking me away or toward my goal? And if it's taking me away, do something else. And these simple questions we can ask ourselves can change our life. Like, you know, I was saying to Delane, you know, if you're a therapist, ask that question. You know, I'm creating a life I want by helping others create the life they want. These little mantras we can run on ourselves. I won't say they become automatic then. Every time we look in the fridge, that little voice goes on. You know, why am I looking in here? Is what I'm about to eat taking me away or toward my goal? And when it comes to the things we do through the day, you know, is this taking me toward or away from my goal? And the other thing we do, and we all do it because we, you know, we want to avoid certain things. We use avoidance tactics. You know, the amount of time I play with my little dog, but you know, she stand there with two little balls in her mouth. I end up playing football for 20 minutes with her when I should be doing something else, you know. But how much of that is because I want to play with Lucy, and how much is because I don't want to do something else, you know? So you got to be honest with ourselves when we're doing things that are taking us away from the things we should be doing towards our goal. Just think of it in that way. Ask those few questions. All we have to do of ourselves.
Beautiful. All right. So we got two things left. I know we're probably going to go a little over time. I hope that's all right for some of you. The replay will be available if you have to go. Freddie is going to take you through a process right now to find your intentional word of the year, to kind of take that word and to sprinkle it throughout your entire year and to really step into the energy of that word and then to step into that new identity. And then once he's done, I'm going to take you through a timeline where we're going to rehearse all of those projects, rituals, outcomes for 90 days, 1 year, 25 years, and then back through time. So Freddie, I'm going to hand it over to you to do the intentional word and the identity process here.
You know, I know most of you will know about anchoring. You'll have heard about anchoring. You know, we're going to anchor that outcome feeling, the emotion you're going to feel when you've achieved that goal. And again, you've now written it down. You know what you want. I'm going to get you to step into that outcome, whether it's for Caitlin standing in front of 10,000 people and feeling great, whether it's the same for Sarah when she's presenting, or Blind when she's on that yacht with a man she found. And when you're in that end space, I'm going to get you into that space. And then what I want you to do is this. When you absolutely feel it, now I want you to set up a physical anchor. Now it can be a finger and thumb together. It can be crossing your fingers. But one thing you're going to do to trigger this feeling in the future. So whenever you're maybe doubting yourself or you're feeling like you're lacking the drive you need to bring yourself back to that feeling, I want you to have a physical anchor. So I want you all to set up one now. Something you can do anywhere, something you don't normally do, but you're going to use as a physical anchor. Have you all got one? Finger and thumb together, squeezing your ear, whatever it might be, okay? And you're going to use that intentional word as your trigger word as well. So in the future, throughout this next 2025, you can wake up in the morning and to get into the state, to get into the zone, you're going to put that anchor on, you're going to say that word, and it's going to put you into that space to drive you through this next year. Have you all got what I'm talking about here? Yeah? We need three things to get this feeling. One is breathing, one is posture, and one is internal dialogue. I want you in a moment, I'm going to take you into a light trance, and you're going to step into that future self, step into that outcome state. And when you're absolutely feel, I want you to, breathe how you breathe when you're in that state. When you see that money coming into your bank account, or you've got those people in front of you, whatever it is, step into that state, feel into it, breathe how you breathe when you're in that state, and say what you say to yourself, the internal dialogue, whatever it is that's going to create that feeling, because it's the feeling that we're going to anchor with this intentional word, okay? And are you all ready for this? With that intention word. Ready? Take a breath in. Hold it for a moment. As you breathe out, go into that trance state. You all know how to do this now. Just go into that state of hypnosis and get a sense of just drifting even deeper into it. Now go out into the future, to that point where you've achieved what you want to achieve, 2025, and step into that outcome state. So feel into it. Breathe how you breathe when you're in that state, when you've achieved that goal. Say what you say to yourself. See what you see. Hear what you'd hear. But get that feeling up. Feel it through every cell, every fibre of your body. You can see it. I can see it now. See it on your faces. Get that feeling. Feel that blood flowing through you. Feel that passion for achieving it. And when you absolutely feel it, put that anchor on and say that word. That intention word, say it now, and keep it in, keep that feeling going. Feel it even stronger. Feel your heart expanding with that feeling, and get right into it now and feel into it. Okay, let go of the anchor and open your eyes. Okay, was that a good feeling? Well, we're going to do this 3 times, but bear in mind, whatever you are feeling, on the 3rd time of doing it, and you put that anchor on, is a feeling that's going to be locked into your body and mind for at least the next 12 months. So when you're ready, let's do this again. Take a breath in, and as you breathe out, go even deeper into that state of empowerment. Feel yourself dropping into that state of hypnosis. And now, once again, allow yourself, go out into the future. You've created that life you want. You're earning the money you want. Think about it, your physical being, the way you feel. Notice the way you move and the way you breathe. You've achieved that goal. Step into that body. Feel into it. Get a sense of it. Breathe how you breathe when you've achieved that outcome. See what you'd see. Feel what you feel. Feel into it. And when you're absolutely in that state, put that anchor on and say that word. And feel that feeling growing even stronger. Breathe how you breathe. Repeat that word in your mind as that feeling floods through your body now. Okay, let go of the anchor and open your eyes. Okay, I can see it on Pablo's face. He's there. He's enjoying it, right? So remember, this time, whatever you are feeling when you're in that state is a feeling that's going to be anchored into that physical gesture with that word, the intention word for yours. So are you ready to do this? Remember, while we do this, you're all that matters to me. So I want you to really get into this and really feeling that Blan's already there. She's on the yacht. So when you're ready, take a breath in, hold it, and as you breathe out, go even deeper into that empowered state of hypnosis. Feel yourself just dropping into that incredible space. How incredible are you? And now once again, go out into the future, to that point where you've achieved that outcome. Notice the way you move and the way you breathe. Waking up in the morning energized, going about your day with a new stamina, a smile on your face, and a feeling of achievement and confidence. And notice the way you move and the way you breathe. Step into that body. Feel what you feel when you've achieved that goal. See what you'd see, hear what you'd hear. And breathe how you breathe. Breathing in that feeling of confidence and achievement. Breathing out every doubt. And get that feeling growing even stronger. Feel it pulsating through your body, every cell, every fiber lighting up with that feeling. And when you absolutely feel it, and you absolutely know you can and you will achieve that goal, then put that anchor on once again and hear that intentional word in your mind and keep that feeling going. Feel it even stronger. And from today, whenever you want to get back into this state, you put that anchor on, you hear that word in your mind, you will instantly go back to this state of empowerment. From today, no matter where you are, what you're doing, you put that anchor on, you hear that word in your mind, and you'll instantly go back to this empowered feeling. From today, when you want to feel what you feel now, you just put that anchor on, you hear that word, you'll instantly go back to this empowered state you're in now. Okay, let go of the anchor, open your eyes. Oh, incredible. I look at Sharon's face. That looks incredible. I don't know where she went, but it looks pretty good to me. So I want you all to do this now. You can do this with your eyes open. Just put that anchor on, hear that word in your mind, and see what happens in your body. Yeah. You instantly feel that thing. You instantly go into the zone. Look at Stephen's face. All right. So look, remember the physical anchor. Remember the word. You know, and I would suggest to you when you wake up in the morning, get yourself going, take that breath in, put that anchor on, say that word to yourself and set yourself up for the day. And there is very little that you cannot achieve. I can't wait to see what you're all achieving. Okay, over to you, Nick. They're all yours. They're all empowered up, ready to go.
Beautiful. I'm going to steal your anchor, Freddy, because that's what I'm going to use for this next process too.
Okay.
All right. How's everyone feeling so far? Steven's having a good time. Blaine's good. Michelle, awesome.
Pablo's just upped his amount he's going to earn now. Put another 250,000 on it.
Good. Okay. Any questions before we go into this final process? I want to make sure your goals, your word, everything is clear before we put this deep into your subconscious. Yeah, Graham.
Yeah, I got a question. So what would you do, say, if you have a big failure, right? So this past year, it was a great year for me, but I had one day, basically, I was working on a film and I messed up, and I almost basically got fired. And it was, I always take failures like feedback. I try to remind myself, like, okay, I failed, but that's just feedback. It won't happen again. But what happens when you go back and then that fear of failure starts creeping up again, and maybe like a month later or a day later or a week later, it starts creeping up. I try to stop it, but it still keeps creeping up. What would you do in that situation?
we have a way of dealing with any kind of fear, which that is. It's just what happens is quickly, I know we're kind of running over time, but it's part of our brain called the amygdala. Everything that ever hurts us, or physically or emotional, is laid down as a template. So you avoid doing it again. But once it's like a one-stop learning, it's a piece of programming. But we can overcome that, and I don't know, Graham. We don't know each other very well, but reach out to me. We'll have 30 minutes together, and I help you get over it. Okay, we'll do that. So Nick will give you my contact, and we'll just have 30 minutes together. I'll hypnotize you and just change that piece of programming, and it won't bother you anymore. Okay.
Or it might just completely evaporate during this process. Who knows? Things like that happen all the time, don't they?
You just got to remember that there is only this moment, Graham. The past is the past. It's done. And it's just let it go. Make that your intention while Nick's doing this next process with you, and see what happens. Okay. But otherwise, reach out to me.
Excellent. Okay. I'll incorporate some stuff into this for you. All right. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to generate a feeling of success in you from some of your previous life's wins. And I'm going to take you through time from now to that 25-year goal and then back again. And we're going to sprinkle in some suggestions that all of you have given me. So if you have any last second requests, better put them in the chat box now. Feelings of confidence and clarity and all of the things that we talked about. And you're going to feel incredible after this, and everything's going to be in your subconscious mind, and your goals will just seem like they happen to you. like Pablo's house, where he just kind of realized it had happened to him, right? It's not like we have to go out and achieve all these things. We just give the goals to our subconscious mind, and the way it operates in life, it makes it feel like the most natural thing in the world. Like there's almost no effort. And you're just that type of person. That's what I would say. So we're going to do this process. You're just going to become that type of person. And there's really nothing you can do about it. There's nothing you can do about it. It's just going to happen. So is everyone ready for that? I have one last request. Sarah, effortlessly attracting clients. Sure. We can add that in. All right. Get comfortable and get situated. And yes, Martin, I'll keep you young as well. Don't worry. Take a deep breath. And give me a little moan as you exhale. So moaning massages your vagus nerve, which helps you relax and connect. And yawning, Michelle, is perfectly okay. So take another deep breath in and just give an audible moan, and imagine that moan is massaging your entire nervous system. And as you relax and close your eyes and connect with all of those internal feelings, now, increasing or just becoming more aware, ask your subconscious mind to connect you with a time when you felt successful. A time when you accomplished something that you were proud of. And see that happening. What did you hear? What did you feel during this success? And as you feel that sensation in your body, ask your subconscious mind to connect you with another time where you felt skillful and competent, where you had the answers, where you were the expert. And notice how confident you're already feeling. As you remember that experience, you see what you saw, you hear what you heard. And you allow that feeling of success and intelligence to flow through every part of you, doubling, tripling, quadrupling. And you may notice the vibration, the frequency of your cells continuing to change. As you move forward in time into now, into this present moment, looking forward to an incredible year of 2025, knowing that your subconscious mind is about to be programmed with everything that you want to accomplish, everything you want to become, everything you want to have and experience. And you may be already feeling that anticipation, that excitement. As you move forward in time for those next 90 days, those 3 outcomes that you decided on as being most important, and you step into that, the end of the first quarter, the end of March, looking back onto the first quarter of 2025, remembering all of those projects you completed, all of those rituals that you consistently execute on every day. Notice how proud of yourself you are because you persist and you execute on those rituals every single day. And of course, the results show in your life, don't they? Notice what's different about your life 90 days away from that 2025 goal setting retreat? 90 days of executing on those rituals, 90 days of completing projects. And notice, how are you different? As you begin to feel even more that intentional word that's anchored in your system, taking the energy of that word and moving all the way to the end of the year, December 31st, 2025. Thinking back about who you've become in 2025, what you've accomplished, and what incredibly valuable skills you've developed through consistent daily action. And as you look back on the year, you notice how incredibly decisive you've been, how you've communicated with clarity and confidence, how you've just become a consistent person. And your consistency has attracted all of the clients, all of the people, partners, deals, everything that you need. And on December 31st, 2025, looking back over the year, what do you see that tells you that you've been an incredible success? What are people saying to you? Wow, congratulations on accomplishing that. That's incredible. How are you so disciplined? How are you so confident? And people in your life may say, what are you doing? Because you look so much younger. You look vibrant and healthy. And notice the feeling of that intentional word even stronger in your system. Remembering back on 2025, knowing that truly you embodied that word. You lived it. You became it. And as you feel the energy of that moving through your toes and your fingers, you're transformed in time to 25 years from now. 2050. 2050. And you can't believe how young you still feel. How incredible your life is. And notice all of the things you've accomplished, all of the things you've brought into reality, all of the things you've become. And notice how good it feels to be free, to be abundant, to have clarity in who you are, to trust in yourself, and to feel confident. And as you step into that feeling even more, feeling it from the tips of your fingers to the tips of your toes, and maybe even the hairs on your head, this new sense, this new identity that you can accomplish anything because you're confident, you're consistent, and you persist until you succeed. What does it feel like to trust in yourself? What incredible skills do you have from 25 years of dedicated effort? What have you become the best in the world at? And notice how incredible life is. and lock that feeling around you like a protective shield. Tune into that frequency in your entire aura. And imagine traveling back all the way through time, all the way to the time you were born, with this feeling of who you are now. And in a moment, I'm going to have you shoot through your entire timeline with this sense of freedom, of abundance, of power, of confidence and clarity. You're going to shoot through your entire timeline and collapse. Anything negative, anything that used to hold you back will be completely destroyed. And you'll integrate all of the lessons, everything that can be taken from those lessons, and leave the rest behind. And get ready, because I'm going to count from 3 to 1. And when I say 1, you're going to move through your entire timeline all the way back to 2050, sprinkling through it this sense of confidence, of joy. In 3, 2, 1, moving through that timeline, collapsing anything negative, bringing light and joy and freedom to every part of your life. Noticing that anything negative is disintegrated, collapsing, destroyed, as you feel more free and more powerful, coming all the way back to 2050. Knowing that you are worthy and you are capable. And as you feel that freedom, you remember back to the end of 2025. And what an incredible year that was. How much you accomplished, how much you grew. You remember all of the things you saw and felt, experienced, and learned in 2025. And you remember that it all started in that first quarter, at the end of March. In those 90 days, what you accomplished the first quarter of that year. What projects did you complete? What rituals do you consistently execute on? And as you remember all you accomplished in that first quarter, you can even remember back to that goal-setting workshop with Nicholas and Freddy, and how much you learned, how much fun you had, and how incredible your subconscious mind is. As you find yourself back at that workshop now, remembering everything you accomplish in the next 25 years, like it's already happened. And in a moment like waking from a dream, it's easy to allow that vision to sink deep in your subconscious mind. Like a dream that's there for a moment and then it's gone, but it's still there at a deeper level. Finding yourself coming back into your body, wiggling your fingers and toes, breathing a little more quickly, having a sense that everything you came to this call for, you've gotten, and so much more. Realizing that power and the answers are within you, and they always were. In a moment, I'm going to count from 1 to 5. When I count to 5, your eyes will open. You're going to feel incredibly refreshed, rejuvenated, and your subconscious mind will act automatically to accomplish your goals easily and effortlessly. 1, allowing those programs to integrate into every cell, into every part of your being. 2, past and the future are who you are now. 3 times better, 3 times more consistent, more persistent, more confident, and more clear for the rest of the year. 5, eyes opening, noticing how incredible you feel and how ready you are to naturally accomplish your goals. Well, we didn't go too far over. That wasn't too bad. How great's everyone feeling? I think we got a few still coming back. Thumbs up. Steven, you all right over there? You're on a little journey. All right. Well, it is going to feel like your goals just kind of happened to you this year. And it's going to feel like the most natural thing in the world. And you're just going to think, yeah, of course they do, because I'm that type of person. Of course I accomplished that. That's just who I am. And that's how you know that it worked.
I'm so pleased for you, Michelle. You've got your nice house and you've got your families together. It's lovely for you. Well done. I'm really pleased. And if you want to reach out to me, Graham, just reach out. If I can help you, I will.
All right. Does anyone want to share? Who wants to share? Good experience? Little timeline travel? Delane says more ideas popped up. Jasmine has her hand up. Yes.
I just wanted to say, like, now we have this big goal, so don't get stuck up on the how, just stick to the why and to the what. Beginning of the week, I said I want to bring my hypnosis and the art project forward, like combining art and hypnosis. And like I said, okay, let's focus on the Renaissance first. And the next day I opened the newspaper and the biggest exhibition is happening in London. And actually today was a flash sale for flights in London. So the how will figure out itself. Just focus on the why and the what, and everything else will come even better than we often can consciously think about.
I love that. And we just did like you all just changed your frequency. You all felt that, right? From that frequency, the how is there. Like it's obvious, but when you're not in the frequency, like you almost can't see the path. And so this is the process. You all have this recording. We'll publish it. You can come back to it anytime. We've got tons of these, sessions. But when you tune into that frequency, like Jasmine was saying, the how shows up. The way will find you. All right. Did everyone get what they came for? That initial outcome? Some head nods. Good. All right. Well,
I'm looking forward to seeing you in 25 years, because when I looked into the future, I had a full head of hair. It was amazing. So you've got to stick around and watch that, I tell you. And it was red. It was completely red. I don't know why. I don't know why I'm a redhead in the future, but that's the way it goes. So stick around. We can celebrate it.
You look great. You look great as a redhead. You look great as a redhead, Freddy.
Yeah, no hair, just a red. No hair, just a red head. Yeah, I know what you mean.
I just want to say that was so awesome. I got so much more than I ever expected today. So thank you. And I really do feel the energy. So thank you.
Great stuff. We can feel it off you as well. It's great.
You look happy. Good.
Yeah, I am. I've got to take my dog out now. So
great.
Lovely to see you. Great. And I'm looking forward to being on stage with you, Sarah. Yeah, killing it.
That sounds wonderful. Thanks, Freddy.
Can I just ask one question?
No.
Thank you. Thank you, Freddy. Can I ask you, Nick?
You just did.
Everything was absolutely great, and I found it really invigorating. There is one little problem I have with 3 options. And are we saying that with time that will come to me which one to choose? Or do I have to be more specific once I make up my mind?
Now, it'll just come to you. You'll think that's the one I should be doing.
Okay.
First.
Which one feels right?
Sorry?
Which one feels right? Like you're just like, oh, that's the one I feel like I want to do.
No, this is an option of relationships.
Oh.
And, it's very difficult, complicated.
In that case, go with the one with the money.
Well, they all have money. It's which one to choose.
In that case, go with the one with most hair.
Right. Well, that's a good idea.
Easy choice.
You marry first for love and second for money. So
talk about abundance there. Wow, Diana.
Yeah. That's the trouble with too much choice, Diana.
Okay.
It's a nice choice to have. Nice problem to have.
All right. Well, that's everything. We'll hang out for a few minutes and answer questions, or if anyone wants to share any realizations they had, what they're most excited about for the coming year, we'd love to hear it. But we'll be here for a few minutes. If you got to go, you got to go, and I will load this into the course area. We're gonna do the project planning guide in the next week or two as well. So I've got that workbook already loaded up. I think I have to give everybody access to it, but that's coming soon. Yeah. So that's it.
Lovely to see you, Teresa. See ya.
I see Allison has her hand up. Yes, Allison. By Dolane. Allison, you there?
Yeah, I was trying to unmute myself. Do you know how soon you'll have it loaded?
I'm giving this one to Guillermo and Nadine to add a little bit of background music to a few of these, so it might be a few days.
Okay, thanks.
All right. Anyone else? Good deal. Well, it's been awesome seeing all of you. And we should do this more often. We should do this next week. How does that sound? If you're not a subscriber, I think it's $50 a month right now. You can get on a weekly call. We do stuff like this every week, not always 2 hours, but we have a blast. So might be a good idea to sign up before the price goes up. And if not, hopefully you got what you came for, and we're happy to serve and contribute any way we can. Right, Freddie?
Yeah, absolutely. This is a great group, and use the power of this group as well. Just get the energy from everybody. It's the power of the group. So I think it's great. I have no doubt, and I hope you're going to keep space on that yacht for me, Blaine, when the time comes. I won't interfere too much. I'll just stand and observe. I won't get in the way. Nick promised me a yacht when we met, so it might even be our yacht, Blaine. Who knows?
We gotta come up. We should have a naming contest for this yacht, Freddie. We should name it. It's not yours until you name it, right? Yes, Blaine.
Can I also put it in the pot that we all meet in person?
Yes,
that's a great idea.
2025. Yeah. Let's do that.
Yeah.
So
what do you think?
So we've been planning on that. I'll share some private information right now. So the reason we haven't done that yet is I was struggling with some health issues, and recently I figured out what it was. That I've had some mold toxicity, and mold grows into the nervous system. And so like when I lead you guys on these hypnosis things, I used to be able to like tune into everybody and I could feel it. But because I have mold in my nervous system, it affects the vagus nerve, and it's been a health journey. Freddie knows about it. So that's kind of what I'm working through. And once I'm detoxed from that, which now I just got a test back that confirmed it. So once I'm detoxed from that, we'll start doing some more stuff in person. But that's kind of been what's holding us up. So
how do you get mold in your system, Nick?
Well, I flip houses, and I had rentals, and when you go into houses that are old and abandoned,
oh, right,
you fix them up, and so I had some of that, and so yeah, it's been, and that's you all know I did a 21-day fast and a 7-day darkness retreat. That was all part of trying to figure this out. So yeah, so here we are. So
Carmen, you've got a place on the yacht anyway, Carmen. Your cabin's booked, so you're all right.
I'm visualizing doing live events again. There's nothing else I want to do. So as soon as I'm able to do that, we'll be back in business. And Blaine, we will all get together in person. I promise.
Yeah.
I may even come visit Ireland.
Yeah. Just bear in mind that I look a lot taller on Zoom than I am in real life, just in case you get shocked. I was in Las Vegas, and I was walking first time in Las Vegas at Hypno Thoughts Live. And a guy came up to me, said, "You're Freddie Jacquin, aren't you?" I went, "Yeah." I was on the other side of the world. And this is what he said. He said, "You sound a lot taller than you are." I went, "Oh, thanks very much." And that was it. And he walked off. So just bear that in mind. I don't want you to be shocked. Yeah. I sound a lot taller than I am. Don't laugh, Teresa. It's not funny.
And if you all want more like some personalized coaching or guidance on the way you're structuring those goal statements, just shoot Freddie or I a message. We'll happily kind of help you craft those. But as you can see, like with Pablo, there wasn't any doubt. There wasn't any confusion. Like you would know if he hit his goal or not, right? You would know what he's going to feel when he hits that goal, because it was just clear, it was simple, and it was in the correct tense. So I want to make sure you all have that, because without that, you're going to wonder why you're not succeeding. But when you have that clear outcome stated in the correct tense, your subconscious mind will take it and run with it. So we're here for you.
Okay, it's been great seeing you all, and great to meet some of you today. Lovely to see you again, Sharon. Always lovely.
I might do it.
I'll
do a live
You're
video
looking
from
younger
the
already,
jail.
Martin. Martin, you're already looking younger. I reckon next time I won't recognise next time I see you. So yeah, just keep up the rejuvenation.
That's right. All right, Dakota, good to see you. Graham, nice to catch up, man. It's been way too long. Sharon, lovely to see you as well.
Thanks for your input, Jasmine. It's always good to know your thoughts on things. Thanks for that.
Doreen, I don't know where she went, but her Northern Lights are still going. Michelle, Carmen, great to see both of you, and we will see you all next week.
Take care.
See you next week. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.